everybody, it's Kelsee Briana J, and it is that time again where we are here to talk about my yearly favorites. And I think this is one of the most intense videos that I prep for all year. I try every year to keep a running list of all the products that I love, but every year I fail. So I wait until the last minute and I get everything together. But typically it doesn't take me too long because I only include the things that I absolutely love. So if it stands out to me, I grab it, and that is what I include in this video. And I've had a lot of products that I really liked this year, but this video is reserved for the creme de la creme. So only loved items come here, and I know I truly love something if I reach for it over and over again, because as you all could imagine, I have amassed quite the collection. So I could use something different every single day of the year. That is not a flex. It's just the truth. I have a lot of makeup and I have a lot of options. So if I revisit something more than once, more than twice, 3 times a lady, that means it's a favorite. And so these products I feel like are solid products that I'm always going to have in my collection for as long as they make them. And so I'm always so excited to have new treasures to add to my collection, because it only means that I'm going to be able to improve my makeup game and continue to slay. You know what I'm saying? Good makeup makes you feel good, it makes you look good, and I'm excited to go ahead and get into it. This is going to be a very long video, I already know, because I have quite a bit of things here. I tried to organize it into categories, bear with me, but I want to go ahead and jump into skincare, because this year I've really focused a lot on my skincare, and I have a little section of things that I want to share with you all that have made it into my yearly favorites. So let's do it. First up is this Good Molecules Rose Water Daily Cleansing Gel. And this stuff is so nice because it makes my skin feel clean, but it doesn't strip it, and it's not overly scented, but it's just a really nice emulsifying cleanser that's going to allow me to have a clean face without feeling stripped of all my essential goodness, my beautiful oils that the Lord has given to me. I need that to stay on my face, and this lets me do that, but I still feel clean in the process. Plus, this is very affordable. If you all have not tried out Good Molecules skincare, you are asleep, honey, because the hype is real. It is amazing. Next is the Tatcha Rice Wash. Love Tatcha. Everything they do is just liquid gold to me. My skin so agrees with Tatcha products, and I'm so glad that they came out with another cleanser, because I have been wearing out my other cleanser from Tatcha. It is one of my absolute favorites, but like most of us, our skin gets kind of used to certain things, so you need to be able to switch it up. And so I'm glad they added another cleanser, because whatever ingredients they use, it just really works for me. So now I can rotate my Tatcha cleansers when I need to, and this one is so nice. It's so gentle. It feels like a nice hug whenever you're using it on your face. It feels just really luxurious, and I love the way that my skin feels after using this. This is a cleanser that I typically use at night when I want to comfort myself, or just right in the morning if I want to wake up really relaxed. I go in with the rice wash, and it just feels so nice. It truly transports me into a different world. I really feel like I'm back in the 1800s in Japan on somebody's mountaintop, just washing my face using the cool water. Y'all, my imagination is crazy, but I love this cleanser and I love Tatcha products. Absolute favorites. So next is the Believe Aqua Bomb Makeup Removing Cleansing Balm. Bomb product. Yes, that was a pun. It's super bomb. I love this product. It really cleans my face. I like to use this as the first step to removing my makeup all over. I can put it around my eyes and it's not going to burn, and it lifts that makeup up. And so I like to do this first, and then I go in with whatever cleanser I'm using just to make sure that my face is clean. But I like this to remove makeup, especially makeup that is just intense. So waterproof makeup, makeup that has just been on and my face feels gunky. I just want to take it all off. I go in with this, it removes it, it just slides off of my face. It is so oddly satisfying, and I love this cleanser. Next, I have an elixir from Chantecaille. This is their Radiance Elixir, and when I say this is the bomb. It looks like it's opalescent, and then when you put it on your face, it truly makes your skin look radiant. Chantecaille skincare is the truth, and I really love it. It literally looks like the packaging of the bottle on the inside, and I will put a few drops of this on before I put on my makeup. So I don't put it on when I'm going to sleep because I need that radiance to be seen. So whenever I put this on, I put it on before I put on my moisturizer. So I just like to press this on the skin, and it just makes my skin come alive. And so I love this product so much. I'm looking forward to exploring more of Chantecaille skincare in 2021. So shout out to this product. It is bomb. Y'all, I'm making a mess. As soon as I'm done with everything, I'm throwing it on the floor, and then I'm coming back and cleaning up afterwards. So next, I have a face oil. This is the Nourishing Rose Oil by Laura Mercier. Y'all, I love this so freaking... Oh, I just love the smell first. The smell of it is so good. I'm like, what is in this stuff? This rose scent is so beautiful. I'm a fan of rose scents, but it has to be a particular rose scent, and this one is that particular rose scent for me. It hits everything. It feels very good on the skin. I'll even use it on my cuticles just to make sure that they feel good and nourished. And if you all have not incorporated oils into your daily routine, what are you doing? Even if you don't put it on your face, you can put it on your chesticle area. You can get it out glistening and moisturized. Oils are the way to go. Get into it. Next is my daily moisturizer before I put on my makeup. I have fallen head first in love with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream Light Moisturizer. This is the perfect consistency for me. I have combination skin, and so this moisturizer makes my skin feel soft. My skin feels hydrated, it feels moisturized, and it feels prepared for makeup. And if you all watch my channel regularly, you know that I don't wear primer all of the time, and that's because I heavily rely on my moisturizer. So for me, it's imperative to have a good moisturizer to put down as a base for the rest of my makeup, and so this one does that. It ensures my skin is prepped, but it doesn't make my skin feel heavy, and it doesn't add on another layer. It works well with all of my other complexion products, and that's what I love so much about this moisturizer. So this is my go-to. It doesn't break me out. It's just a nice everyday moisturizer, and it's just a little bit tacky, so I like that because it grips onto my makeup a little bit more. So if you all have not tried this, try it, especially if you are a fan of her Magic Cream, which is great if you have dry skin. If you have dry skin, I would say Magic Cream all day. But if you don't, Magic Cream Light is the better, lighter version of that for you, for your skin type. Love it. So next is the only primer that made it onto the list because, like I said, I'm not like primer girl, like, oh my gosh, primer, make or break my makeup. No. I like primer. I see the need for primer, but personally, I don't particularly have to wear a primer like that. But if I do, I'm going to use one by Tatcha. This one is the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. Bomb, bomb, bomb. It makes my skin feel so smooth and satiny, and all of my foundations go on top of it really nicely, and I love how it just makes everything look like a filter. I apply it in my T-zone area. I may put some right here. Sometimes I'll even put some right underneath my eyes, but I overall really love this product. Just like I said, Tatcha products are extremely amazing, and this one is no exception. Now that we're on complexion, let's go ahead and jump into foundations. And I have 5 foundations here that have been in constant rotation, and these foundations have caused me to question all of the other foundations that I have in my collection. I actually think in 2021, I'm going to do a deep purge of my foundation collection and just give away most of it, because I don't use it like that. I've found the holy grail of what I need to find in terms of foundation, and I'm open to trying new ones, but a lot of the ones that I have in my collection, I now feel are mediocre now that I have some of these new ones. Like, I just don't need the old ones anymore. So with that being said, let's go in order of coverage. So this one is the Chanel Le Beige's Healthy Glow Foundation. Amazing foundation. If you are looking for something that's light coverage that you can throw on and it's going to even you out and it is going to give you a healthy glow. I typically love Chanel foundations when they make a good shade for me, and this go round they did not disappoint. So I have the shade BD51. It is the perfect match for me right now. In the summertime, I'm BD61, but right now I'm BD51, and this one is so nice, and it is so smooth, and it gives you a beautiful glow like the name states. Amazing products. Next is one of my most favorite foundations that I have ever tried in the history of me trying foundations. That was deep, I know it was, but I feel so passionately about this foundation. This one is the Suku the Cream Foundation. You all, my box is gross. I actually want to get another one of these ASAP because this product is so creamy. It's a foundation that is medium buildable, so you'll put it on and you can apply it how you want to apply it. So what I mean by that is if you want it to be medium coverage, you can leave it as is. But if you want to build it up, it builds up and it gives you the most natural, creamy, beautiful, velvety finish on the skin. Suku makes amazing products. I've never tried anything from them that I did not like. But this foundation is extra special. I have told you all that I'm going to do a review on this foundation, and I still mean it. You all just don't know. I've been going through and doing a lot of things behind the scenes, so I've gotten a little bit behind on my content in 2020. But trust and believe, when I drop this foundation review, all of you all are going to want to go buy this foundation, because I promise you, if you like medium coverage foundations, this is the medium coverage foundation. Amazing products. You all know I could not do a favorites video and not include my fave. You already know that. Tom Ford's name was going to pop up at some point or another, and that point is now. And this foundation is amazing. I mean, the packaging alone sold me on the foundation. So really, in my personal opinion, whatever the formulation is, I'm gonna have to deal with it because I need to have this in my collection, period. Like, look at this. Look at this. It's so weighty. I'm like, this is so extra, and I love how bougie it is. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Foundation. But not only is it beautiful to look at, but it's actually a very beautiful formula, and it makes my skin just look smooth and radiant, and I love it so much. And I have it on right now. I actually wear this whenever I'm doing something more serious, and I wore it when I had a photo shoot, and I just love the way that it looks. I like the way that it lays. I like the way that it wears throughout the day. It's just a really nice foundation that is not matte, nor is it dewy. It's like right there in the center. If you mixed your favorite matte foundation and then added in just a little bit of radiance, you have Shade and Illuminate. So I just love it. I love the shade match, the packaging, just the overall everything about this foundation. It's just hands down one of my favorites that I have in my entire collection. So love it. We're going back to back with Tom Ford. This is the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. When you're talking matte foundations, this is what you need to be talking about, because this foundation is so velvety smooth. It's literally like a whipped foundation in a container. Whenever you put it on your skin, it just glides on and you get a really nice soft matte finish. The packaging of this one is cool too. It's very nice and functional. I like the twist up and twist down cap. It don't got nothing on my Shade and Illuminate foundation packaging though. Let's be real. The Shade and Illuminate packaging is the best packaging of foundation that I have in my entire collection, okay? So we can't compare that. But if we're talking formulas, these are A1 formulas. If you want something a little bit dewier and not as matte, go with Shade and Illuminate. But if you like matte, but you want something that is a new age matte that's not drying on the skin, go with this foundation. It is amazing. Next is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation, which I truly like this one as well. This one is super full coverage. So if you're looking for something that gives you a little bit more coverage than the Tom Ford, let me introduce you to the NARS foundation, because this leaves no prisoners. It's not leaving behind any evidence. It's wiping it down. It's not playing. This foundation is at a great price point, especially if you are needing to update your foundation wardrobe. This is a part of the new age matte foundation tribe as well. And I feel like it's really important to redo your makeup collection every now and again and get new reformulations of certain type of foundation finishes. And this one really is a good one, and I highly recommend it if you are in the market for a matte foundation. However, don't get cray and put too much of this on, because this can leave you looking real cake faced if you let it. But if you just apply a little bit and go in with it as you need it, this foundation is impeccable. That's it for foundations. Let's talk about concealers, which I only have 2. And of the 2 that I do have, I have multiples of this one. And I know that you all probably can guess. This is the concealer of my life. I don't see myself getting a concealer that I like better than this ever. This has bumped almost all of my other concealers out of my rotation. I mean, all of the other ones are cool or whatever. But the Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Concealer is perfection. And I just don't feel like I need to have an abundance of other concealers anymore because this one does everything I need. I have a shade for if I want to highlight. I have my same skin tone shade. I have a shade for if I want to highlight. And then I have a shade for if I want to contour. So this concealer is just so versatile. And the formulation of it is so smooth. It's so velvety. You can apply a little bit and have a nice light everyday natural type finish. Or if you want to build it up and get crunk with it. Yes, I'm from that era where we said crunk. You can, and you can get a beautiful, flawless makeup application. So this is just the end-all, be-all concealer for me. It is one of my favorite concealers, and I always will have to have this in my collection. Pat McGrath snapped when it came to this concealer. She snapped. I'm like, did you have to come annihilate everybody else's formula like that, auntie? I know it's going to be hard to follow up that description, but I do have another concealer that I strongly like. And that one is my Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. And I really do like this concealer. It's not as good as Pat's. And for a while, I was kind of like, which one do I like better? But after testing them out extensively, the clear and undeniable winner is Pat McGrath's concealer. But the Dior concealer is still an amazing concealer. It is very similar, in my opinion, to the Pat McGrath concealer. But this concealer doesn't have the same stretch as Pat McGrath's concealer does. Pat McGrath's concealer is like, if you apply just a little dot, it just keeps going and going and going. But it's not complicated to use. It's very user-friendly. The Dior concealer doesn't have that same level of pigmentation and stretch, but it's still a nice concealer to apply underneath my eyes because it makes them look a little bit hydrated. It makes them look plumped, and that's what I like so much about this concealer. So it is still an amazing concealer. It's a great concealer, but since I talked about the Pat McGrath one first, it's hard. Like I said, Pat McGrath is perfection. So I probably should have led the concealer conversation with the Dior concealer first. But this one is still good, you guys. I love this concealer and I use it quite regularly. Honey, this video have you talking. I gotta reapply this gloss. So next, let's talk about powders. And this includes both under eye setting powders as well as all over face setting powders. And I'm a girl who likes what she likes when it comes to powders. I am the most critical, I think, about powders. And so for something to truly be a favorite, it has to blow me away because I've had my holy grail standard for powders for years now. So the first one is by Pat McGrath, and this one is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. I've never had a powder do what this powder does. Whenever you apply this powder to your face, you immediately see some sort of optical illusion that makes your under eye look blurred. I am like, how in the HE double hockey sticks did a powder blur my under eye? I don't get it. I don't know what it is about this powder. I mean, when you put it on the back of your hand, it looks blurred. It is one of the best smoothing powders that I have ever seen in my life. I don't have any other powder in my collection that can do what this powder does. And I don't use this powder to set my under eye just because my under eye is prone to creasing. So I will go in with my translucent powder, set my under eye, and then I will use this powder as a finishing powder over that. And my under eye has never looked smoother. Let me tell you how good this powder is. I don't even use it every day because I don't want to get used to looking at my under eye looking like that. And I know my under eye didn't look like that, okay? So I don't even want to get used to seeing my under eye look like that and not have this powder and then feel bad about it. I've never felt that way about any makeup products. Like, I've never not used makeup for fear of not having said makeup and then not liking how my under eye looks. Next is another powder that I absolutely adore. And I use this one sparingly as well because it's no longer available. And I did not realize that it was no longer available until I did a full face of Chantecaille video, which will be coming soon. And I was looking for this particular product on their website, and lo and behold, it was a limited edition powder. This powder is so amazing. It is a radiance type powder, so it is going to illuminate, and it's also going to offer a nice blurring finish. It doesn't blur as much as Pat McGrath's powder, but it gives you a nice, beautiful, healthy glow too. When I first put it on my face, I'm like, I can't even see that. So what happened was that I put it on one side, I got up to go get a drink of water, and then I sat back down and I looked in the mirror and I said, it did do something. I was like, dun, dun, dun. It worked. This powder is so smoothing. It is so radiant. It is not glittery. It's so finely milled. And I love the way that it brightens my under eye without doing too much. It is the most subtle brightening under eye powder. If you all can get your hands on this powder, you need to do so. And I say we need to petition and tell Chantecaille to bring it back. So next, it's my Laura Mercier translucent honey powder that they made for me. I know they didn't make this powder for me, but you don't have to bust my bubble about that. I know they didn't, but I feel like they did. Because they did not name this translucent medium like I thought they were going to. They named it translucent honey. And if you all don't know anything, you should know that I am always the shade honey for the most part. If the shade's name is honey, then that's my shade. And that is what I feel like they did here. They gave me this beautiful, beautiful medium honey golden tone to set my under eye. And I am so eternally grateful for it because this gives me a beautiful lifted look without having to go in with banana powder, which was always way too yellow. This one is more flesh toned and it is the perfect shade for my complexion. And if you have a deeper complexion, you can use this as well to set your under eye and use it as a brightening powder. So I love this powder in general. I've loved it for years because this is one of the only powders that really locks in my concealer and makes sure that it does not go anywhere. And even though I have combination skin and it's oily in the T-zone, my under eye is relatively dry. And so the Laura Mercier powder still works for me. I go in with my sponge and I pick up a bit of the powder and I press it into the skin and it just melts in. So if you have not tried that technique, make sure you try it. I hear a lot of people saying that the Laura Mercier powder is a little bit too dry for them. But try that technique and make sure that your sponge is not sopping wet. It just has to be a little bit damp. And what I find works the absolute best is that you use a sponge that you already have applied your makeup with, so it already has a little bit of product in there, and you're not going to re-wet it. You're just going to use it after you've used it all over your face and just go straight in, set your under eye. Next to the next is my Gucci powder, which Gucci gang, shout out to my girl Vicky J. I love this Gucci powder. It is a front runner contender for one of my favorite setting powders, and I had no expectations for it, but once I tried it, I was like, oh, Gucci is still that girl. Not only are they giving us beautiful retro vintage like packaging, but the way that they're delivering with this product on the inside, I'm like, Gucci, hey, come here, let me tell you something. Gucci has given us such a beautiful setting powder, and it is one of those powders that gives you a little bit more coverage, but it's not a full coverage, so I feel comfortable using this on top of my makeup. I have it on top of my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate foundation right now. And the way that this foundation just smooths and velvetifies, I know that's not a word, but velvetifies my skin, I need to have this at all times. I actually am going to go ahead and place an order right after Christmas and get some re-ups of some of my favorite products from Selfridges, which include my Suku foundation and another Gucci powder. I need to have a backup because it's that bomb. I look forward to the day when they sell this in the US because currently this is only available overseas, but I foresee it coming over here super soon. Bronzer. You know we cannot talk about complexion and the face without talking about bronzer, right? So let's start off with talking about a black-owned brand's bronzer. This one is by Mented Cosmetics. This one is their Beach Bum Bronzer. Oh, I love this bronzer. It is so golden and it is so beautiful. The shade Beach Bum works best for me, but they have an array of different shades to select from for your complexion. And I love how smooth this bronzer is. I love how it just bronzes up the face, gives me a little bit of warmth, makes me look like I've been outside, even though in all of 2020 I basically haven't. Y'all know I had to talk about these Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless bronzers because they are flawless. I love these bronzers. This bronzer made me bust out into a song when I did the review for this bronzer. I have two shades. I have the shade medium and the shade tan, and both of them are amazing. On days when I want to be a little bit more natural, I go in with medium, and for days when I want to turn up, I go in with tan. And both of these bronzers give me such a beautiful bronzed feel. It's so silky smooth. It works with every single product that I have on my face, and I feel like a lot of people are intimidated by bronzer because it skips here. It emphasizes texture. Sometimes bronzers can have a little bit too much shimmer, but not those. Those bronzers are amazing, and Charlotte Tilbury's powder products, mwah, chef's kiss. Beautiful. And I definitely feel the same way about this Gucci bronzer. Gucci's makeup in general is very, very nice, okay? So this bronzer has a little bit of shimmer to it. It has a little bit of fragrance, but you know, look at this packaging and the way that it applies. Oh, it's just so decadent. It gives me such a beautiful, radiant bronze. So it's a different kind of bronze that I would get from a matte bronzer. It makes my skin look glowier, and that's what I love so much about it. And I actually have on that bronzer right now. So I, again, have two shades of this. I have the shades 3 and 4. The shade 4 is a little bit too warm for me for most days, but I will bust it out if I'm feeling, you know, in the mood. But for every day and for most days, number 3 is perfect for me, and this formulation is just everything. Let's talk about highlighter. Let's talk about this highlighter that I really was obsessed with, low-key, and I wasn't even expecting it. It is by MAC. This is one of their extra dimension highlighters, and it is in the shade Hot Damn, Moselle d'Avion. I still have not found out how to correctly pronounce this, but this came out in one of their random collections throughout the year. All these months later, I still have this sitting out and it still speaks to me, and I still want to put it on my face right now. It's a peachy golden highlighter. There's more golden than peachy, and that is rare because with highlighters like this, they normally just kind of take over with the peachy side and it looks more like a blush, but not this one. It looks more like a highlighter, and I love this highlighter so much. MAC's Extra Dimension eyeshadows and Extra Dimension highlighter formula is so slept on. It is one of the best formulations in the game, so if you've not tried it, try it. They have several that are in their permanent lineup, and this one was a limited edition one, but dare I say you probably could find it if you look for it. But it's such a nice, smooth, wet-like highlighter, and I love it so much. Dior snapped on these Backstage highlighter palettes, especially Pure Gold. I think this one is hands down my favorite. This is the one that I always come back to and I pull out almost on a weekly basis. But Rose Gold as well as Copper Gold are hot fire. It's something about this formula that is just so smooth, and I love the packaging. It's so reminiscent of being backstage and just working in that life. I just love everything about this concept. And the last highlighter that I absolutely had to include in love is by Natasha Denona, and this one is the I Need a Nude Glow highlighter. And I love this little light highlighter, okay? Like when I am wanting to be just super blinding, I want my highlights to be a little bit extra, a little bit lighter, real beat face, I go in with this highlighter and I love it. It is so smooth, like what I need, because I cannot have chunky chunk highlighters in 2020 and beyond. I just can't. So this one is very, very finely milled, and I love how blinding it looks on the skin. So even if I'm not in the mood to just have this one by itself, I will still just put just a little dab of it right there just to add a little bit of extraness to my makeup, and I love it so much. And lastly, I have some blush and highlighter duos. The Wayne Goss McGrath's Weightless Veil Blush Palettes, which I kept in their box and I busted out the label maker for them, okay? I love these because they are so sophisticated, as is all of Wayne Goss's makeup. This is undeniably beautiful. This one is bright poppy with the blush and the highlighter. Like, love this formulation. I love that it already has the complementing highlighter to go with the blush, so you don't have to think about it. You can just pull out one, get your cheeks together, and keep it moving. So next is the category of eyeshadow palettes, and I feel like eyeshadow palettes are what most of us buy most abundantly, like eyeshadow palettes and foundation. So I have a good amount here, but I really limited it to be the creme de la creme. So the first one that I want to talk about has to be no other than Mel Thompson's, in collaboration with Sydney Grace, the Tiny Marvels palette. And I told Mel that this is the most her illustration that I've ever seen. This palette is so her. She put so much hard work and dedication into the curation of this palette, and Sydney Grace is such an amazing brand. We love Heather. Heather was on an episode of Behind the Beauty. Hey Heather, you guys got to know her a little bit more, but look at what they cooked up in their kitchen. Not literally the kitchen, but like The Rock's kitchen. Like, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? No, I'm just kidding. But I love this palette. It is such a beautiful palette. It is such a versatile palette, and it is so Mel. Next is the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which I know this probably is a shock for you all because Natasha Denona came out with other large palettes this year, but of the ones that she released, this one was the one that really stood out the most to me. I mean, there's literally everything that I need here personally, and I can do an entire eye look on people who have deeper complexions than me if I needed to. Plus, of course, this is going to work for those of you all who have a lighter complexion, so it's very versatile in its range. The only thing is that she named it, you know what she named it. But aside from that, if we're just looking at the tones of the eyeshadows, I feel like there's depth here, there's passion here, there's beautifulness here. I just overall think this is a very well executed palette, and it is one of my favorite cool tone palettes that I have, period. Next is the Supreme Nudes palette by Artist Couture. And I love this palette. This is one of my favorite neutral palettes that I have in my collection. I cannot believe this is my first year having this palette in my collection. I feel like I need to have this always. Where have you been all my life? This palette is bomb AF. Whenever I'm able to travel again, this palette is going to be one of the only ones that I need to bring with me because it gives me everything that I need. I have all of my neutral tones. I have my transition. I have my outer V darkening shades. I have a little bit of pop with the shimmers here. And this palette just is beautiful. I love this palette so much. It's so well formulated. Everything is creamy. It's smooth. It's easy to work with. It blends out. It's just amazing. So next up are my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palettes, which I had to wait a little bit of time to get these palettes because they launched on Tom Ford's website. They sold out for months, okay? Not weeks, not days, but months. So I had to be very patient with these, but it was so worth that wait because look at the packaging, you all. And then look at the inside. Look at this wet dry formula. I mean, the fact that they included a highlight and a little bit of a bronze situation in addition to the eyeshadows. What else can you ask for in terms of luxury? I mean, oh gosh, it's just gorgeous. I love Tom Ford. You all know that, but I feel like they truly outdid themselves with this palette. Look at this. This one is Red Harness. So pretty. Love it. And lastly from Tom Ford, because you all know I can stay there all day with Tom. I love Tom. Tom can do no wrong. But this one right here has bumped Nude Dip from my first place. This one is First Frost, and this is my favorite Tom Ford quad that he's launched, period. And I love this quad so much because it's romantic, it's bronzy, it's everyday, but it's glam, and this wet dry formula just wins me over every time. I'm a super sucker for it, so I love it, love it, love it. Next, let's dabble for a moment in Charlotte Tilbury's land. Let's talk about the Pillow Talk palette. I was so impressed with this Pillow Talk palette. I didn't expect to be impressed with this Pillow Talk palette, but the Pillow Talk palette completely won me over. And now that I'm holding it open, for some reason, I don't know if I got this in 2019 or 2020. It's like everything just blurs together to me this year, and it's actually weird. I have no idea. So if I got it last year, I'm sorry. Charge it to my head and not my heart. But if you do charge it to my heart, know that I'm genuine in saying that I really love this palette. It's such a beautiful palette. And you all know I don't even like pink like that. But this palette gave me that pinkness and it made me warm up to that. So I love this. It has the perfect mixture of being a neutral pinkish tone palette. And I feel like this one is definitely a dreamy palette that you can put on and wear every day and do a variety of looks using. Love it. Another surprise. I did not expect to like this palette as much as I do. This one is the Desert Haze Quad, and I only bought this because it came out at the same time as the bronzes, and I was like, okay, fine. I'll just make an entire video out of it. But when I say that was the best decision that I could have done, because this little bitty palette packs a big old punch. Do not underestimate this palette because it's a small quad. It is so smooth. You can do a lot of different things with it. You can use this quad to set up other eye looks. So say for instance, if you need matte eyeshadows in the crease and in the outer corner, you can use this. Or this palette can hold its own and you can use it by itself. And it absolutely is going to give you such a beautiful, smooth matte eyeshadow application, which you cannot use everybody's mattes just as the complete basis for your eye look. Some people's mattes need you to put another eyeshadow on there to make it a star. But honey, this eyeshadow quad is a star all by itself. This is Michael Jackson. This is Beyonce. This is Diana. Don't play. Next up in the eyeshadow realm is the Dior eyeshadow Quints. Y'all know I love these because I couldn't even grab all the ones that I have. That's how much I love these. I still owe you all a video on all of these Quints. I'm going to be doing swatches and eye looks using all of them. I just love this reformulation. Dior has truly proven that they are industry leaders. They've given us great eyeshadow formulations before, but this formulation right here is next level. It is so good. So I would say if you are interested in getting these before I post my video about them, you can just pick whichever color story is most interesting to you. And I guarantee you that whichever one you select is going to be smooth, it's going to be beautiful, and you're going to be able to create a beautiful eye look using it. Sophisticated eye look. I love these so much. And lastly, I have the eyeshadow palette of the year. And I'm sure this palette needs no introduction. But just in case you are living under a rock and you've not tried this palette and you've not heard or seen it, allow me to introduce you to the Mothership Divine Rose 2 eyeshadow palette. This is one of the best eyeshadow palettes that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I know that that is very dramatic, but I'm very passionate about makeup and the arts. And so with that being said, this palette is a masterpiece. Let's start off by talking about this limited edition packaging because that's gorgeous. Mine is well loved, okay? So let's not judge her. I did not get a chance to get a backup of this palette in this packaging, okay? But look at this. This palette is one of the most beautiful palettes. It has everything you need in here. And as I've previously stated several times, and even in this video, I am not a big fan of pink. But even if you're not, this palette is pink. It is what you need. This palette has versatility. It has fun things in here. It has your pops. It has your everyday staples. It's just an overall gorgeously curated palette, and I'm so excited to have this in my collection, especially because this year was so hard in general. To see such a beautiful thing be created from a genius like Pat McGrath, I mean, I just feel honored to be witnessing greatness unfold in front of me. And you all know that this collection in particular just holds very strong, great memories for me because Pat McGrath actually sent me PR for this collection. And that moment is something that I will never forget. And I shared it with a lot of you all, Couch Kelsee. So I shared that with a lot of you all and I will never forget that. And this palette is just so special to me, not only for that reason, but also because it's just genius. So love that palette of the year, hands down. If you've not tried any of Pat McGrath's palettes, I would suggest that you start with that one, because I truly think that you will see what the hype is about if you've not gotten a chance to try it for yourself. Eyeliners. I have a pencil and I have a liquid eyeliner in my hand. Let's talk about the liquid eyeliner first. This one is the Perfect Strokes eyeliner by Rare Beauty, and this is the sole item from that entire launch that has stuck with me and that I have used consistently. I think this eyeliner is so great. It is so smooth. It does not tug. It gives me a nice, beautiful application of black eyeliner, and I love it so much. It has a pen applicator, so it just glides across, and I love that so much because I can create a thin line or I can make it thicker and just really draw what type of eyeliner I want to have for the day. And I like this formula because it's a nice consistency, so it's not running all over the place, and I find it to be very user friendly. So this is one of my favorite eyeliners that I have found in 2020, alongside the Wayne Goss Essential Eye Kohls. And I love these pencils so much because I am a professional makeup artist, and so I'm very familiar with eye kohls and their purpose and how to properly utilize them. But these eye kohls I feel are a little bit more special because they do not move around as much as other eye kohls do, which I can appreciate that. But for me, I have sensitive eyes, so I need something to be a little bit less emollient than a lot of other eye kohls are, and that is where the Wayne Goss eye kohls step into play. And I love these. I love the shades. I love that they don't budge. I love that they give me such intensity, and I use them every single day in my waterline, and I cannot wait for him to come out with even more colors. Love these. If you like eye kohls, but if you're like me and struggle with having sensitive eyes, your eyes watering, but you want something intense, check these out. They are not going anywhere. Next is mascara. And the first mascara that I love is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes Mascara. And this one has that plastic wands applicator that sometimes can be doing a lot. That can do a lot for me sometimes in poking me in my eye, you know. But I love this one because it combs and it separates and it's so black. That's what I love about it. I love a good black mascara that's going to give you that nice tint and make your eyelashes look lengthened, and it separates at the same time. So I think this mascara is fantastic. Now let's get into these lips, honey, because lips are some of my favorite products to buy, and unfortunately, even though we can't really flaunt our lips out in the real world nowadays, I get my lips popping on the internet, okay? So whenever I get a chance, I'm wearing my lipsticks and I'm having a good old time. I've amassed some really great new formulas in my collection that I'm excited about. And the first one that I have to talk about is Gucci, because I've gotten a good little collection going. It started out with me getting 2 this year, and then all of a sudden I have all of these. And these did not come out this year. These came out, I want to say last year, and I did not even get any of them because I was like, you know what, I'm probably good on lipsticks. I mean, I have enough lipsticks, whatever. But I bought like 2 or 3 at one time because I was like, you know what, I want to try them. And baby, I started something because I definitely have this little case right here just for my Gucci lipsticks, because I know I'm going to fill it all the way up and just complete this little set that I have of my Gucci lipsticks. And then a new makeup brand emerged from a fragrance house, Byredo, and I love their matte lipsticks. I am so impressed by these. 2 of the ones that I have are Last Cow and China Plum. And China Plum is the one for me. I mean, I don't have a shade like this. It's so rich. It is so sexy. I love it so freaking much. I think that Byredo did an amazing job on their lipsticks. My little Carolina Herrera lipstick collection. I love these so much. I love the customization of them because they don't come like this. You have to buy the lipstick, the case, as well as the tassels separately. But I've amassed a cute little collection of these, and I love this matte lipstick formula. 2020 has given me some bomb matte lipstick formulas, and these are beautiful. And look at this. Look how fun this is. Doesn't this make you excited to use your makeup? Yes. My Pat McGrath Supreme lipstick. Ugh. I went through it to get this lipstick, but I'm so happy to have it in my collection because it is a collector's piece for me. I think it's so beautiful and it is so cool. It's a red lipstick that represents Supreme, and of course with Auntie's stamp on it, it's gonna be something that's amazing. That's what she gave us. Straight up fire. And last but not least for lipsticks, my Propa Beauty lipsticks. She shut it down with this. I love, love, love the tones that she selected. I love the formulation of the lipsticks. I feel like they are just beautiful and smooth and creamy and just gorgeous lipsticks. These are so nice and so silky. I kind of want to put on one now, but you know what? I'm going to stick with my look. But these lipsticks are beautiful. So I'm so happy to have found all these amazing formulas. Even if you can't see it right now, I'm still going to wear it. So I have a few more lips. I have some lip glosses that I want to share. And one of my favorite formulas that I'm actually wearing right now is by Wayne Guys. Love these lip glosses. I actually have on Tulip right now. It is one of my absolute favorite neutral lip glosses. So pretty. It is a neutral nude on me. All of the colors that Wayne selected for his lip gloss formula are colors that I would select. They feel super comfortable on the lips. They have a little bit of tact to them, but that's what I like. So I don't have to keep constantly reapplying, even though, you know, I'm talking a mile a minute right now. So I'm only reapplying just so my lips stay extra juicy. You don't necessarily have to do that all the time, but because these are bomb and they're gonna stay. I gotta give it up to my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb creams. Love this formula. I want to see her come out with more neutral shades, but the formulation of these is smooth. And the color, it doesn't separate. This is an amazing formulation, and I cannot wait for her to expand this and give us more because these are fire. And last, but certainly not least, are my Lisa Eldridge lip glosses. And Lisa Eldridge is so classy. I love her brand. I love her lipsticks. So when I saw her coming out with the lip glosses, I knew I had to grab some, and I even got some in colors that I typically don't wear. This one is a neutral mauve type tone. This one is Muse, and then a red one in the shade Ribbon. Love it. So plush, so shiny. Love it so much. Lisa did an amazing job as per usual. I've not tried anything from her that was not a knockout. Now I have some fragrances for you all because I've been sharing a little bit more that I'm a fragrance head a little bit. I love having a variety of scents. So I believe in having a fragrance wardrobe. So two of the ones that have really stood out to me that I purchased this year are Angel Share by Kilian, which I absolutely adore this scent. And I've told you all before that I don't like super sweet scents on me, but this is the one. If I were going to pick a sweeter scent, it would have to be this one because it doesn't smell like candy. It's very boozy and it gives me a really nice warm scent, and it makes the boys go crazy. It is my signature winter scent for 2020. And I just can't stop smelling it. Doesn't it look like a liqueur? It's by Kilian. It's in their liqueur line. So it's supposed to look like a little drink. And the last fragrance that I have is one that I think is just so adorable. And I'm so happy to have this in my collection. I have to keep it in my collection forever, okay? So this one is the Disney X House of Sillage collection, and oh my goodness, look, oh, this just makes me so happy. I love this so much, and I love the scent of it as well. Oh, it's so nice. It smells so warm. It smells like Disney. I love it so much. I just love it so much. I think this is adorable. So those are my favorite fragrances. So we have some tools to talk about because you all know I love my makeup brushes. So this year I have been loving my BK Beauty brushes, especially this one. This one is the 101 brush, the most coveted brush from BK Beauty. It is such an amazing tool to have to apply your foundation. I'm a person who likes to apply foundation with a sponge or with a compact brush like this one, and the fact that it's angled, it just means that I can really buff that product in and it fits right into the contours of my face. I love this brush so much. It gives me such a beautiful makeup application. The Wayne Goss artist brushes. These are so beautiful. I love the wooden handle. I love that it is made in the style of a Japanese calligraphy brush. I love how soft the bristles are and how it just applies your makeup in such a beautiful airbrushed way. This brush series forces you to put your makeup on more gracefully, and it's something so serene about that, and I love the story behind it. So these are just amazing, beautiful brushes to put on your makeup in a relaxing manner, and Wayne did such a great job on these. Next are my Kazan brushes from Chikuhodo. I love these brushes so much. These are some of my favorite brushes that I have in my entire collection, because these brushes are the perfect hybrid of being soft but being able to put in that work. Like whenever you use these brushes, you don't have to worry about if it's going to perform. It's going to perform. These brushes are amazing. They're very soft, they're very smooth, and the bristles are a little bit crimped. So it's picking up powder and picking up products that are a little bit more difficult to pick up. And I love these so much. I actually am probably going to go ahead and buy a second set of these because I love them that freaking much. Sonia G with her little wooden handles. I love that. I think that is so beautiful. I think that it just adds to the level of craftsmanship to it, and I think that it looks sophisticated and nice and just like a sturdy tool. But these are so amazing, beautiful travel brushes. Whenever I travel, this is going to be a brush set that I take with me because it has your powder brush, your foundation brush, and 3 eye brushes. So it's everything that you need to create a beautiful face. So shout out to Sonia. Sonia is a friend of mine. I absolutely adore her. I have a few other things that I also want to include in my favorites from my friends because everybody has been killing it in 2020. And I want to highlight one more time Mel's palette with Sydney Grace. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud of her. This palette is absolutely gorgeous. It is definitely one of my favorites. I also want to highlight Wayne Goss again. Thank you so much for including me on your campaigns. I didn't know Wayne prior to 2020, but he's just been such an amazing person and just so kind to me. So I definitely want to give him a shout out and congratulate him on expanding his line to now include makeup. I also want to share this BK Beauty palette, the True Beauty eyeshadow palette. Lisa J is one of the kindest people, and so to see her be able to expand her line to not only include brushes but to also include makeup is amazing to see because I know she worked so hard on this palette. So congratulations to her. Michelle Wong with her scarves. Oh my gosh, so absolutely gorgeous and just luxurious, just like her. Look at how beautiful this one is. I got the chartreuse one. Just decadent. I'm here for it. And then my girl Alicia, aka Kinky Sweat, aka Miss Sweat if you're nasty, with her Aliens of Brooklyn collaboration. So I'm incredibly proud of everything that all of us were able to accomplish this year, with them coming out with products and with me doing Behind the Beauty with Alicia and Chelsea. That was one of my favorite projects that I've done this year. I'm so glad that we did it and we stuck to it. We were able to connect and meet so many amazing people, and then we were able to interview them and bring that to you all so you all can get to know people behind the beauty, as well as my university that I created, my KelBelleUniversity, where I was able to do one-on-one courses and meet so many of you all. The response that I got was just overwhelmingly positive, and I just didn't know that it would grow to become that. And working with you all one-on-one was such a positive moment of 2020, and we needed that. With the type of year that this was, we needed anything that would put a smile on our face, and Behind the Beauty and KelBelleUniversity definitely did that for me. So I look forward to seeing what 2021 has in store. Of course, I'm always going to be excited to try new makeup, but I'm also excited to explore more endeavors. So let me know some of your yearly favorites. Let me know if I included some products in my yearly favorites that surprised you. I cannot wait to read what you all have to say down in the comment section, and I appreciate you. I love you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and be blessed. And I will check you all in my very next video, which will be super soon. Smooches. Bye.